this weekend over the shooting of a Minnesota woman by an ICE officer as DHS Secretary Noem defends her domestic terrorism assessment.
If you look at what the definition of domestic terrorism is, it completely fits this individual. As you saw in the video that we released just 48 hours after this incident, showed that this officer was hit by her vehicle, she weaponized it, and he defended his life and those colleagues around him.
So DHS saying new video of the moments beforehand proves Renee Good was, quote, stalking and impeding a law enforcement operation all morning, as additional video shows how it went down from the officer's point of view. Watch.
You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Oh! Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett joins us now. So, Greg, weigh in here. I saw on the Sunday shows they really took this on about the Secretary of Homeland Security's words and that, quote, domestic terrorism. This is actually a legal term that has been debated for years. What is your view on the situation here?
Well, Lawrence, domestic terrorism is actually defined as violence by individuals or groups driven by extreme political ideologies to try to affect government conduct through coercion, criminal acts. And, you know, a vehicle's a deadly weapon. And if you weaponize it to harm a federal officer, if you're doing it because you politically disagree with ICE enforcing the law, then sure. I mean, it could be described as domestic terrorism. Look at the database. It's filled with cases involving vehicles as domestic terrorism. And, you know, in the end, there's really no excuse under the law for resisting or fleeing law enforcement and accelerating your SUV with an officer either in front of it or perpendicular. That puts him in harm's way, triggering the law of self-defense. And the legal test is whether this officer at that moment reasonably believed his life was in danger. If the answer is yes, he does have a right to use lethal force. And in fact, in Minnesota, there's a specific law that allows officers to use deadly force by shooting at an oncoming vehicle. So I think the secretary may be correct here.
Do you think, and I just want to play devil's advocate because this is something that is highly debated right now. It is true, just by the statute alone, it looks like that the officer acted according to the statute. The Supreme Court has ruled on what officers feel is imminent fear. It is true that she impeded the officers, and they have footage of her doing it the entire day. But how do you link that to a broader push for domestic terrorism? I think that's the part where some people struggle.
Well, it goes down to the motive. Was this done to be anti-government and to try to change the behavior of ICE? And if the answer is yes, and there's considerable evidence that that was her motive, she was part of the resistance involved in trying to obstruct and block and hinder ICE, then sure, that's domestic terrorism. It would be important if there was a prosecution here, but of course, the driver, Renee Good, is deceased, although, you heard the videotape in which her wife was saying, "Drive, baby, drive."
Right.
Well, that could be aiding and abetting fleeing police with a domestic terrorism motive. So, it still is relevant.
That's a good point. I want to get your